A little wet this morning. This is a beautiful bench. Perfect spot for a little intro. I am pre-coffee this morning, so give me a little bit of a break. It's a kind of misty, foggy morning. My absolute favorite. Ideally, if I was going out to the golf course, it's my favorite, but even still, to take a little morning jaunt. I digress. That's not the point of this introduction. I am here to introduce this 18-hole round over at Crystal Springs Golf Course, part of the Crystal Springs Resort. So they've got Wild Turkey, Ballyowen, Crystal Springs, and the Bear, I think. Really difficult track, which you'll hear me talk about through the video. I just wanted to quickly hop on and say thanks for tuning in. Thanks for following along. I've gotten some cool comments like from Malta and from like across the world, which is pretty cool to see. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you haven't done so already, feel free to subscribe. Really appreciate it. It just lets me know that I should keep making these, which the growth has been there early on, which is pretty cool. But a really fun round out there today. Pulled together a pretty good number after a fairly hectic start, which you'll see. It's probably going to ruin the shot. I'll wait, I guess. All right, we're getting right into the action. Welcome one, welcome all to the Hickory Chaz YouTube channel. Wasn't able to capture my tee-ball off the first. Striped this second one in a great position for my third. We're playing the Crystal Springs Golf Club. They've got three or four courses over there. This one is labeled as literally one of the hardest in all of New Jersey. I think the slope from the tips is like 147, which is pretty redonkulous. I checked the USGA database, and that is among the hardest in New Jersey, like private, public course, whatever. And the course was really hard. Nice par on the first. One of the toughest parts about this golf course, which you'll see and I'll probably highlight, is how weird the green complexes are. A lot of not only humps and bumps with the green complexes, but I just sprayed that one right. Ends up fine, just short of the bunker, but the green complexes are shaped weirdly as well, and they're tricky. So make sure I have the right club there. They're really tricky. Trust me, the green is down that direction there, even though you can't quite see it. The rough was also up today, and let me get back to my point about the green complex shapes. A lot of really shallow areas in which to hit, and what I mean by that is a lot. Oh, that's a skull. I sculled that right over the green as I mutter to myself about that. Make an absolute mess of this hole as well. The areas where you need to hit it on the green are protected in very shallow ways. Like your distance control needs to be pretty much perfect. Seems like I didn't care about that bogey putt. A nice double on number 2 to go to +2. But that was the thing that kind of tripped me up the most, was some areas where distance control needed to be absolutely perfect in order to really hit the green in general. This hole was another one where, yes, it's in the aggregate, it's very tight off the tee. That's probably why it's fairly high slope rating. But I felt the green complexes hitting into them were the toughest part. This is the week Mashie, which is the first week that it's been on the channel. I got this Tom Stewart weak mashie from somewhere in the 1920s. Really cool, shallow-faced weak mashie is the only way I can describe it. It's probably something like an 8-iron, maybe a 9-iron. Low center of gravity, a lot of spin. Here's my niblick chip, which you cannot see. Squirted a little right on me there. But this course overall was really fun to play. I mean, yes, it was really difficult. Oh, look, I'm heated already. I'm pretty heated and dejected early in the round today. This may continue. This trend may continue. We'll see, though. And this is a great example of kind of the trickiness of this golf course. 455-yard par 5 on paper, that's nothing, right? It's kind of a brassy and maybe a 2-iron, mid-iron for me. But it's so tight. The landing area is so difficult to access. I mean, I just flared that right into the tree. But got a little bit of a lucky break. And that's what you see out here at Crystal Springs Golf Course. Excuse me. A true golfy type swing there to pop it over the tree and give myself something at the flag. This was a terrible niblick. Just terrible. Flared out to the right. Ended up in this, that was a nice jump. Ended up in this wraparound, kind of, frankly, beautifully manufactured bunker. I wanted to capture that perspective by putting the camera up a little higher. Some really cool aspects of this golf course. At one point, it was literally ranked, I believe, the most difficult course in New Jersey. Maybe back in the 90s when it was first starting out. Little zoom in from the top section here with the mallet putter, about 15 feet. And I actually jar it. A nice up and down. A welcomed up and down from the bunker, I should say. So this is the first par 3 on the golf course, the 5th hole. Short one, about 130 yards. Really cool kind of rock structure on the left-hand side that you can kind of see. Just a really kind of cool set of par 3s on this golf course too. Pretty epic rock faces. And a delicate little chip here with a tier behind it, so I had to be careful with it. See this guy emerge from the rock. You can see? Just wanted to turn the camera to make sure you guys saw that I was being legit. And another nice up and down. I'll also call out my outfit today. Kind of a denim-esque button-down shirt with the classic vintage wingtip foot joys, as I almost break my ankle on that shot. But kind of a cool fit, if I do say so myself. We pick it up here on the second shot on the 6th hole with the mashie niblick and a big pull. I go right to the cart in disgust. Tough start to this round, I have to say. But I do look good. Yeah, a fairly bad chip, and I'm feeling pretty dejected early in this round. You know, I'm +3 through 5 holes. The course is getting to me mentally. I haven't hit a green yet, and this trend will continue a little bit, but stay tuned because I really get things together early on in the back 9.
On to the next hole here. I thought this drive was going to be absolutely perfect. A little preemptive on the call, I guess. Don't want to give anything away. I pure it just down the left side of the fairway. Got to move the glasses down just to see the flight. But unfortunately, find myself in a very awkward scenario. Pull the niblick, wrong club for sure, looking back on it. Yeah, just side hill lie, left it about 25 yards short, never had a single chance, and throw the hand up like, oh, I'm surprised that even happened. Yeah. This was actually a pretty nice chip. Pretty good touch to hit it up to like 4 feet maybe. Maybe 4.5 feet. Probably my 50-50 range. But I jar it for another nice up and down. So you can see the trend early in this round. That I was able to get up and down a little bit early, even though I wasn't hitting any greens. I wasn't driving the ball particularly badly or hitting irons particularly badly, but this one was actually really bad. And I look up and bounced left right into there. I was going to grab another ball because that was heading right out of bounds, but gave a little chortle that it popped right into the rough here. Awkward stance, but I hit a great one. So I was pretty pumped on that. This is the third par 5 on the front 9. I just want to call that out. Again, just speaks to kind of the weirdness of this golf course and how kind of disconcerting it is in a lot of ways. This was my best kind of shot at an approach. And I hit it solid, right at the pin, bounced over. Chipping for birdie. Hit a really good chip here, if I recall. Yes. Kind of thought was almost going to jar that for a quick second, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Pop it in for the par. Scrambling a little bit. I'm still +4. I feel like, I'm hitting the ball pretty well. The mentality is just keep pushing. This is a really cool par 3 too. Again, a really great set of par 3s. This one's over water. Very strange kind of T-shaped green. It was a little bit windy today, so this is the strong mashie that ends up going over the green, but just too much in play to really hit anything much better. Thought this chip was going to be a little bit better than it ended up. Nonetheless, we got a putt for par. So you don't see ground under repair on a par 3 too often, but unfortunately there was some here. Luckily I didn't go in there, so I didn't have to get a ruling from my boy in the pink shirt here. Actually, I think that's white. Never mind. So here's the front 9, 42, 5 over par, no birdies, a double in there. It was sloppy. And so things needed to change on the 10th hole here with the 2-iron. And I absolutely striped this. Pured. Akin to JJ Spawn at Oakmont. That guy's got an absolutely pure swing. Let's not move past that quite yet, even though this video is probably dropping 3 or 4 weeks after the US Open. This is a classic example here. Just totally misjudging the hole. It's way uphill. I'm taking about a 120-yard club. I'm looking at the grooves like that has anything to do with it at all. It certainly does not. Looking at the divot direction, give me a break. I mean, that was just never, ever going anywhere close. choose the putter, barrel it by the hole. Things are not really going my way, but just you wait. Just you wait. I'm just, oh, look at me. Look at how fast I'm walking. All right, we got the signature 11th hole here. Look at that crazy, crazy green. I mean, that's what I'm talking about with these green complexes. You know, I show a photo from the green upcoming, but just a nuts hole, frankly. I've never seen a green quite like it. The pin is in the back left. I hit it in that kind of back left bunker there.
What did you hit?
Not a terrible place, to be honest. This is a crazy angle, kind of down the ravine, off the quarry. A really crazy hole and an interesting hole. And again, adds to the par threes being pretty spectacular. So yet another green missed. I'll point your attention towards the fact that it's the 11th hole and I have not hit a single green in regulation. Okay. Let that sink in for a moment. Until this hole. So stay tuned because this is when things start to turn around. I'm +7, feeling down in the dumps. Hit this one really well, just a hair to the right, so it didn't really allow me to go for this green in 2. I just had kind of a gnarly little squirrely lie in the right rough. So just punch something down the fairway, put myself in a really great position, great angle. I absolutely love this camera shot right here. This angle, the light's hitting it beautifully, a very well framed green, another cool green complex, plays a little uphill. And here's the first green I hit all day. And as a matter of, oh, look at that. See? Let's go. I'm pumped. And as a matter of fact, I stuffed it in there and bang, made the birdie. Praising the golf gods, old Tom Morris. That was gross that I kissed that ball. Seems like my laundry just finished in the other room. I'm going to have to grab that. Cannot let that go overnight. Went with the weak mashie here, and I actually pured this. Went right at it. Hit kind of a side slope in the middle of the green. Weird green complex, but still had kind of like a 15-footer straight up the hill. You can see that mound to the left of me. Pretty crazy stuff. Just missed it on the right edge. Pretty good read, pretty good putt, pretty good effort. You know, tap in the par. We're never going to be upset about that. So we're 6 over, going into the 14th hole, I believe. 14th hole. Yep. All right, I'd say this is really where things start to click in the swing. Don't know what it is. You never really know. But the vibes just started getting better. I was feeling myself out there on the course. Who knows? But pured that 2-iron off the tee. And this is a really tight second shot on this par 5. Played conservative off the tee and just pured this mid-iron / 2-iron. Probably literally one of the best hit Hickory shots I've ever hit in terms of just middle of the club face. Did exactly what I wanted to do with that slight fade. So that was pretty cool. A little backstop behind the hole that I used to kind of push it up there and then bring it back. So I had a pretty good look at birdie here. And again, we're 6 over at this point. Trying to maybe get a couple back if we can, but you know, this course is fairly unforgiving. Boom. Jars it. Pretty much cloud 9 at this point. Just kidding. We're still 5 over par as we move to the 15th hole, the par 3. I guess being on cloud nine means that you got to fall from grace pretty aggressively and pretty quickly, because I pretty much just skanked that up there. But I left it in an okay position, easy enough to chip it up there. Look at me. Do I need glasses? You can really get a good look at the wooden shaft on this one. I mean, they're all wooden shafted, but I think this gives a pretty good perspective, pretty good close up. And a beautiful chip. Are my shorts a little too short? I'm not. They're probably the shortest shorts I own, to be fair. But I think with the long socks, they pair okay. We had a really long wait on this tee box, kind of out of nowhere. So I wasn't feeling my best. Yet I hit a pretty good tee ball. A couple groups on the tee watching us. That always feels pretty good when you can step up and hit a good one with people watching. Got the weak mashie, sitting at +5, water down the right, very cool green complex. Hit a really solid shot here that actually ended up further away from the hole than I think it deserved. So we have to lag something up this big tier. I was really close to the water, actually, funny enough. Pretty crazy that it, such a good shot was not rewarded as such, nonetheless. Decent lag. Sauntering up to the ball. Little lineup. I'm giving you the whole taste here. They were messing around. The other two guys in my group were messing around in the water that you can see down there as I just barrel in the par. Nice 2-putt. On to the next. As the sun is setting on Crystal Springs Golf Club, 2 holes left. Buttered this brassy just up the left side. Really tough hole, straight into the wind. Had like 190 left, so 175 actually I'm seeing now. Really pure 2-iron punch, kind of knockdown. I made this into a YouTube short, this video. Go check it out if you feel so compelled. It's my most viewed short, so the sound or the quality of the shot, something was pretty good about that. Another nice chip here. I'm pretty proud of the way that I battled back. I was 7 over par through 12 holes, don't forget. Or 11 holes. Yeah, 7 over par through 11 holes. And I'm battling here. Just made a really nice new up and down. Here we are on 18 with the brassy. Last hole of the day. Hit a good one. Yes. To be fair, I did kind of chunk that, but perfect position. It was playing downwind. So I've got 135. I basically just have to carry it over this bunker. It was a very strange, like literally 4-tiered green down to the pin on the back left. And I pured this niblick. I can't tell you how much I pured it. Bounced a little past the hole. And the beautiful sunset casting long shadows over this final birdie putt to shoot one red on the back 9 and a really tremendous bounce back. No. Left it short. Now, I really can't complain. I felt, talk about a beautiful view, first of all, and shooting that 77 after being 7 over par through 11 holes, I got to be pretty pumped about that on one of the toughest golf courses in New Jersey. So, overall, pretty happy.
I'm still in the same position as I was for the intro. Maybe I'll change up the leg. There we go. Thanks for watching. Really, really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, comment, do all that fun stuff. But obviously a pretty cool round out there today. Very interesting course. very difficult in a lot of instances, just kind of how the holes are laid out, and some of, like I've talked about throughout the video, some of the green complexes being really tricky. To come back from being 7 over on my first 11 to 2 red on the last 7 holes to bring it to a solid 77 felt like pretty good golf. As always, have fun out there. We'll try to do the same. And we will see you next Thursday at 8 a.m. for another Hickory Chaz video. So take care. Some really exciting things actually coming to the channel content-wise, just like better golf courses. I've got a round at Neshannock Valley coming out soon, which is a really great public track, one of the best public courses in New Jersey. I've got a Francis Byrne vlog coming out, which is probably my favorite course among literally any that I've played in New Jersey, an old Charles Banks design that was recently restored back to its full greatness. And then in July, I have the New Hampshire Hickory Open that I'm going up to play in. I mentioned it kind of sparsely throughout other videos, but going to take some video up there, going to be in the full garb, so expect a newsboy cap and some wool pants. But that's going to be a fun one at a private Donald Ross course, Lake Sunapee Country Club. Should be able to get some cool content and hopefully walk away with some hardware, so you can expect that as well. As always, thanks for the continued support out here, and we're just chugging along and having a lot of fun along the way.